Alright, this is my video for the BlackBelt. So I have my login / registration form here. So if the first time it sees a username, it checks the database for that, and if they're there, it will get their information. But if they're not there, it just registers as you as a new user. And the reason I did this instead of a prompt is because prompts are ugly and really annoying. Forms are easier to work with, so I just did that instead. So I'm going to enter myself in here, and you can see where my appointments are at. I get the cancel buttons. These are the newest appointments made. I wasn't totally clear on that. I probably should have clarified, but it seemed like they wanted the newest appointment made to be on top, but I wasn't sure if they wanted like the ones with the date closest to the current date. So I just did it by the ones that were most recently entered. Search functionality, that's not hard to implement, so that works. Add new appointment. So let me see here. Yeah. So show how these error messages work really quickly. So these ones down here, those are up until you kind of complete the validation on these, and then this date picker. The way that I make sure you don't get a date before the current date is I just dynamically set the minimum date to the current date. And I didn't even realize that I'd totally somehow missed the part where we were supposed to do, you can't make an appointment that's less than 24 hours away from the current date. So had I realized that, the simple fix would have been to add like one extra day to the date that I'm using for a control on this. So that'd be really easy to change. I just missed that piece of instruction. The other thing too is I think it's something with my computer, the way the time stuff is configured somewhere. But basically when the conversion happens from the date that I put in here to when I think Mongoose converts it to like an ISO string, it actually adds a day, or I think it takes a day off. So if I put in the 15th here, this actually goes into the database as the 14th, and I didn't have time to debug that, and I could have just like subtracted a day from the date that I got, but I wasn't sure if it was specific to my machine, so I just left it the way it was, and that would be the type of thing. Obviously, if I wasn't doing this in 4.5 hours, I would have done that. But my neighbor's fireworks, great. So as I fill these in, that first one goes away, but this still needs to be 10 characters. The other thing too is the submit button is disabled until the validations have checked out. So now that checks out. This should give me an error message because I already have an appointment on that day. Please choose a new date. Now let me make a new user really quickly and show you the other one. So that will register Michael as a new user. You can see he has no cancel buttons because he has no appointments. Add new appointment. Again, this is going to be for the 14th because the date thing is weird. So I enter in some info, submit. That date is already fully booked. Please choose a new date. 22nd. That, and go through that. Boom, and there's his date. And so the only thing is the cancel button. It works, but so if I cancel this, then the callback is like, I think it's taking longer to do the deletion than, I don't know. I mean, because I'm waiting for the response to, in my controller, I do like to reload the index as a callback. But yeah, for some reason that doesn't quite work. But if I go, I'll have to, it'll log me out if I just refresh the page. It'll lose my session information. But if we go back as, oops, we go back in as a Michael, and now that appointment's gone. So it does do the delete. I just have to spend some time looking at exactly why it's not doing the refresh. But yeah, so basically everything works, except like I said, I forgot the, you can't make an appointment 24 hours from the current, or less than 24 hours from the current time, but that would have been really easy to fix. So yeah, other than that, that is my project.